Before great Roman emperors were written about as prominent figures and capable leaders in our history books, there was a time when they fell in love and shared extreme emotions with another person. In some cases, records also revealed that a handful of famous names from ancient Rome were in fact gay and had relationships with people of the same gender. However, there has been little to no discussion about them, which truly downplays how important these connections are. Thankfully, their genuine histories are being told more and more after being marginalized and ignored. And in case some of you are still wondering how most of these tales started and ended, keep watching because in this video, we will go over the stories of 4 great emperors and how they fought for their love against all odds. Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar is undeniably the most recognizable of all the ancient Romans, and as expected, he is renowned for many things, including his extraordinary military prowess, his ascent to the position of dictator, and his brutal death by his own senators. Aside from his prowess, he is also a well-known Casanova and very popular with the ladies. However, despite the countless records about how he lived and passed, there is a story about this great man that historians are trying to ignore. It was commonly believed that Caesar had a passionate relationship with another man in his younger years, and not just any man either. Reports claim that his sweetheart was King Nicomedes IV of Bithynia, a former state now part of modern-day Turkey. Their relationship was such an open secret that a military song commemorating Caesar's victories included the phrase, "Caesar laid the Gauls low, Nicomedes laid Caesar low," referring to Caesar and how the dynamics work between Caesar and his alleged lover. While there was no harm in talking about their relationship or Caesar falling in love with another male, people who hated him used it to pull him down from his throne. As a result, the idea was exploited by Caesar's political foes, who mocked him as the Queen of Bithynia. It is even said that the famous orator and statesman Cicero scolded Caesar directly in the Senate for his favoritism of King Nicomedes, stating, "No more of that, pray, because it is well known what he gave you and what you gave him in turn." But we all know he didn't let his haters shut him down. Instead, he proceeded to build an empire and win battle after battle, which earned him a spot as the most remarkable emperor in Roman history. Emperor Hadrian of Rome. Hadrian oversaw Rome for 21 years while accomplishing far more than the previous emperors had ever done. As a result, he became one of the 5 most moral Roman emperors in history. Before he became the great emperor that he is, young Hadrian spent his formative years in Picenum, and historians revealed that he was born in Spain and subsequently settled in Rome. While Hadrian was widely known for the amazing fit he achieved, there were other stories that made him the talk of the town. One of these is his relationship with a man named Antinous. They first met during one of his travels in Asia, and after the fateful meeting, it almost immediately became clear that Hadrian favored men. Unfortunately, there was not much written about Antinous. However, historians did note that he was just 14 years old when he met Hadrian. He was also allegedly Greek and of poor birth. In addition to this, records emphasize how attractive he was. So breathtakingly handsome that Hadrian fell in love with his attractiveness right away. It didn't take that long before Hadrian took Antinous as his buddy. After that, he brought his male lover back to Italy, where Antinous received a quality education, and the two thereafter developed an unbreakable bond. Luckily, having male lovers was not frowned upon during that time. In fact, it was assumed that emperors would at least have one, so their connection wasn't at the center of the scandal that followed. But it was a different story when word reached the streets and mentioned how Hadrian was genuinely in love with Antinous. Most people were dubious, especially after Hadrian brought Antinous everywhere he went. Things escalated pretty quickly, and the next thing they knew, Antinous suddenly died. It was a mystery, and theories about what really happened flooded in. Was he clumsy and fell by himself, or was he pushed? Some claim that Antinous made the decision to commit suicide by jumping off. Why? Well, the general consensus is that he may have desired to pass away in order to silence critics of his and Hadrian's union. Antinous, who was still quite young, may have made the decision to take his own life in order for Hadrian to be remembered as the great leader that he truly is, and not as a homosexual emperor, because he was aware that not everyone was happy about their relationship with him. Another theory suggests that Antinous was killed and sacrificed for the sake of Hadrian. Or worse, he was murdered because people couldn't stand his relationship with the emperor. To date, no one really knows, but I'm sure that everyone is aware that despite the challenges, Hadrian became one of the greatest rulers in ancient Rome. Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was the king of Macedonia, the founder of an empire, and one of history's greatest military minds. In his brief life, he accomplished a great deal and proved why he deserved to be called the Great. Aside from his military skills and achievements, Alexander is also notoriously popular with ladies and, surprisingly, with gents as well. Thus, in addition to having 3 wives, he may have also found time to have affairs with men. General Hephaestion of Macedon was so closely associated with Alexander that their friendship was compared to that of the mythical Achilles and Patroclus of Greece. Although there is no proof, it is widely believed that Hephaestion and Alexander were lovers. As a result of these rumors, Paul Cartledge, a renowned historian of ancient Greece, wrote that rumor had it, and rumor was for once surely correct, that Hephaestion and Alexander had once been more than just good friends. But wait, there's more. Alexander may have harbored romantic feelings for Bagoas, who was reportedly a Persian eunuch. It even got to the point where Alexander allegedly kissed Bagoas in front of his soldiers. Maybe we can expect nothing less from the great even when it comes to love. Roman Emperor Elagabalus. Finally, we have Elagabalus. While his name is not as popular as that of the other emperors who ruled Rome, there are few accounts that will tell us who Elagabalus is. Elagabalus was born in Sextus Varius Avitus Bassianus around 204 AD. His mother, Julia Soaemias, was a distant relative of Emperor Caracalla, while his father was an equestrian who was subsequently accepted into the Roman Senate. Because of tradition, he is qualified to serve as the sun deity Elagabal's priest. In fact, this is how he first acquired the appellation Elagabalus. Sadly, after Caracalla's assassination in 217 and Macrinus's ascension to the position of Praetorian prefect, Elagabalus and his family were exiled. But no one can take away the throne from Elagabalus, and he was consequently crowned emperor at the tender age of 14, and their power was strengthened by the Senate's acceptance of him as Caracalla's son. While his rise to the throne is controversial enough, many of his foes started to dig up any dirt they could about him in order to overthrow him. As a result, Elagabalus was rumored to have never been with the same person twice. His hunger for charioteers, especially those with quickness and strength, was insatiable. On top of these, his biographers would also write how the emperor appointed people to political power solely on the basis of the size of their intimate parts. But despite how adventurous the young emperor was, he was not able to escape Cupid's bow and fell in love with a man named Hierocles. Elagabalus first met him when Hierocles lost control of his chariot at the games in front of the imperial lodge. The coachman was then able to gain the emperor's favor thanks to his attractive charm when his helmet fell off and revealed his face in the process. The young monarch was thrilled and ordered that he be brought to the palace to distribute his favors. To top it all off, he made the decision to wed Hierocles, but their union had no legal significance at the time because the ancient Romans did not foresee the idea of homosexual marriage. But despite this, tales about the monarch and his lover spread like wildfire, and while most historians will not write about their stories, it's undeniable that the young emperor was head over heels for his male lover. And just like the tale of the other emperors we talked about, I'm pretty sure that most of you would agree that once in the empire of ancient Rome, countless beautiful stories of love are waiting to be discovered and told for everyone to hear. That's it for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stories from history.